Hey, and welcome back to Monday Night Football. Did I steal that from you?
Yeah.
Where Soccertown USA comes to you, brought to you by Elliott Media. Juan, what's going on, man?
I don't know. We got a spot missing here.
Yeah, well, you know, sometimes you're too ashamed to show up and, eat your crow. But here we go.
So, Diego, I guess.
It's waiting on you, buddy, whenever you want to show up.
He wanted to make a wager last week, if you saw that. You know, they were going to switch jerseys. Or scarves, so I guess,
It wasn't a switch. It was like, if Northwest wins, you wearing this, and they did. So it's here waiting on you. I can start singing, the alma mater.
No, we're good.
In the hills. No? Okay.
So we'll see, but he didn't want to show up. But with that being said, we're going to run right into the OptiLink scoreboard. Todd, I'm going to get us started here. We had games on Mondays and Tuesdays. Monday, Christian Heritage losing to Lafayette 7-0. Murray County girls beating Dalton Academy 10-0. North Murray beating Rockmont 4-0. North Murray boys winning in PKs over Dalton Academy 2-1. Christian Heritage beating Lafayette 1-0. And then North Murray boys beating Rockmart 7-1. On Tuesday, Murray County girls losing 5-4 to Fannin County. Dalton go down to Model 3-2.
It's not a bad loss.
Praise Academy, praise the Lord. They came down and beat Christian Heritage 10-0. Northwest, we got some score lines. Northwest taking the double dubs. Girls beating Southeast 2-1, and then the boys, Northwest boys beating Southeast 1-0.
I'll take Wednesday and Thursday. We have Dalton Academy. I don't see a score there. That was Darlington. I don't believe that they played. That was the girls.
Yep, correct.
Dalton 2, Pace Academy 5, Dalton boys 1. I'm sorry, that was Dalton Academy 1, Darlington 3. And then on Thursday, Coahulla Creek 6, Ringgold 4. It's on the girls. Also with the girls, LFO 2, Murray County 1. On the boys side, Pace Academy 1, Dalton 2. Southeast 11, Douglas 1, North Murray 7, looks like LFO 1, and then Color Creek 2, Ringgold 1. PKs again. Christian Heritage 3, Ridgeland 1, Southeast 2, and South Paulding 0.
Then on Friday we had Murray County girls going down, losing to Daresville 8-0. Coahulla Creek girls with a 7-0 win over Ridgeland. Dalton girls putting a 187 on Hiram 10-0. Northwest boys 5-1 over Dalton Academy. If Diego shows up today to wear this scarf, maybe he'll be able to discuss that game a little bit.
Yeah, he could.
And then Murray County going down to losing to Daresville 2-1 on the boys' side, and then Dalton boys with an 8-0 win over Hiram. Todd.
Well, so got that. Northwest, Southeast, like you said, Northwest doing the double.
Yep.
We'll talk about that, and that'll be actually in our first and second segments. We can kind of highlight that.
And then Coahulla Creek surviving?
Surviving. Ringgold. I didn't expect that one. But I do want to touch, while we're here and we got a few seconds, remember, if you're catching this early tomorrow, Tuesday when it's released, come on over to the community center because we have the Atlanta United dedication.
Yes, that's why we got Atlanta United everywhere.
To the small field here at the community center. That kicks off at 4:30, no pun intended. Players Noah Cobb and Luke Brennan will be here from Atlanta United. So come on out and support this dedication.
And really quick, tune in next week. We will have a special guest by the name of Sebastian Salazar.
Look him up.
Former WDNN reporter here locally, and now he's an ESPN pundit for Fútbol Picante and all this other stuff. But stay tuned for that. With that, we're going to go to commercial break, and we're going to go into Northwest Southeast.
I'm Dr. Michelle Little.
And I'm Dr. Kayla Giabo with Foundation Direct Family Care. We wanted to start a membership-based primary care practice.
But we're doctors, not business people.
I'm Kylie Roy with Biltwell Bank. I listen to their pitch and help them scale from startup to owning their own building.
Biltwell sees the value of small businesses in the community and supports their ingenuity.
Because every business owner doesn't have an MBA, our bank is Biltwell.
Member FDIC.
Who's up for some football?
That's not football. This is football.
And Eddie, there's one thing that we all can agree on.
That's it. North Georgia is the home for new and pre-owned vehicles.
And don't forget accessories, parts, service, and collision needs.
Claro que sí se puede. Cancillas.
Hey,
That's our part.
And welcome back to Monday Night Football. Before we get it started, I guess someone decided to show up, Todd, and he's a little muted right now because I guess he's eating a little bit of crow.
He needs to be muted.
You know, I learned my bets in the beginning of the year. A couple years ago, I decided to just try to stay neutral, so that's why I was not taking a stand on either way.
For the record, I didn't want to take the bet. I don't like taking any kind of like wager or anything.
I refuse to stay neutral.
This guy loves taking bets.
I love gambling now.
So why are you wearing that?
I love it. Well, Northwest came out and really represented against my home, my heart, Southeast. Both the girls and the boys absolutely having wins from Northwest. You know what? No matter what the rivalry is, I mean, it's soccer town, USA anyways. I'd rather this be a Northwest scarf than anything else.
We appreciate the support.
I literally will wear this with pride. Northwest, you absolutely deserve it. Hey, Soccer City Cup's still going strong, so I still have benefits. But at least we got some Southeast victory to talk about with Maya Camacho scoring, continuing her streak. I didn't get to see that game though, but from y'all.
Yeah, we'll definitely get into that a little bit, Todd. I know you wanted to touch base really quick on who our special guest is next week.
Yeah, Sebastian Salazar is going to be come on. Like you said, he does have a history of being on ESPN. He's covered the last World Cup in Qatar for them. He's been on Fútbol Americas. He's co-hosted that with U.S. national team forward Herculez Gomez for the past few years. And now he's going to be stepping into a new role with ION TV covering the NWSL, the Women's Professional Soccer League. So he will be the voice of that league coming up. So he's going to join us next week. He did get his start in Dalton at the old WDNN station, probably in the mid-2000s. So he goes way back. He remembers Coach Cheese. He remembers those early Dalton teams.
Games.
Yes. So he's very familiar with the community. So he's going to be coming in and talking to us about coming up here, but as professionally as well as where he is going and taking his opportunity that started right here in Dalton.
All right. Wow. And with that, let's go ahead and roll in, Todd. So we had some big game Soccer City Cup matchups last week. The big one was the Southeast Northwest Clásico from the County Classic. And just go right in there. Both Southeast teams going down, losing to Northwest. The Northwest girls coming out with a 2-1 win, which, if we can agree, first half, it felt like part of the first 10 minutes, it was Southeast, and then all of a sudden Northwest just started doing what they do and started chipping away and pressuring, and next thing you know, they came out with a 2-1 win.
It seems like we could have had this same conversation for the past few years in a row, and actually this senior class for Northwest finishes up undefeated versus Southeast in their careers there, which is remarkable considering the quality of teams that Southeast has had. And I feel like it's kind of the similar thing. We've seen Southeast have stretches where they have even dominated, certain periods of the game against Northwest, but Northwest keeps this kind of bend, don't break mentality and really carries it through the whole game. It seems like tactically they have a game plan and they just stick to it no matter what happens.
Yeah, and that's what it looked like. Like I said, from what, the perspective of Southeast, they had some shots, they had some opportunities there late in the first half and in the early second half. Weren't able to capitalize. Northwest had a couple of breaks where Sadie Clark missed a couple of one-on-ones.
Yeah.
So it could have been even a bigger scoreline if she, Keeper hadn't stepped up real big. But like you said,
I really thought the Southeast girls were and I did this on my post-game reaction in the car. I really thought Southeast was going to hold on to it. I thought the Maya Camacho goal was going to stand up. And then Sadie Clark comes and she gets the equalizer, and then up steps Juliana Herrera and just blasts this free kick.
Another free kick? Another free kick.
It was a rope. I'll just tell you. She blasts this thing to put them up 2-1, and it was pretty much done at that point.
And, like I said, and another thing is this isn't region implications, so there's not going to be anything to play within region. It's just one of those bragging rights. But one thing that you did discuss, and both and the boys and the girls, this game lacked a little bit of panache, a little bit of bite. It didn't have that,
It didn't have the edge to it.
Yes.
Really?
Well, because last year, and I don't know if you were there, like the emotions kind of spewed over after the game, and even on the fan base side of it, and it was about the game. That's what it was about. And so to that extreme, then I would say this is the exact opposite extreme, where it was just a real lackluster emotionally between the two. And like Juan said, I don't know if it's because it didn't have region significance. I would like to think that just playing your crosstown rival would be enough.
Ironically, I actually talked about this with some of the girls from Dalton, because I was mentioning the Dalton Southeast rivalry, and it goes on to the same thing, where it's like now I feel we're seeing the results of a lot of these girls growing up playing together, to where there really isn't that just natural rivalry that was missing. I was talking to them about that, and I'm interested that you pointed that out, that what is missing when it comes to that bite? Because I think back in our day, we used to have that automatically, which I think overall, is that a good thing? Is it a bad thing? Is it a neutral thing?
Maybe it's because we didn't play together, right? You just heard about the guy across town. You you hear about things, and that lore in your head built it up to bigger than. And now, they leave, they go play club during the off season. And maybe that is, but it hasn't mattered the past few years.
And a lot of these girls play club ball together, so they're teammates. So they're really more teammates. They're competitors against each other, but they don't. I feel like because that's their teammate that they may have to play on the weekend at a showcase or something like that. So they don't really want to get that person hurt or go in too hard, because that's going to be their teammate where they can potentially win a title or something like that. So I don't know. But like you said, it's not there. But
whatever
like
it is, I don't like it.
Northwest came
so we're on the same cloth, because I remember
whatever it is, I don't like it.
But you have the Soccer City standings on the girls' side.
Oh, there you go. Let's talk about that.
So we'll pull those up, and just to go, Northwest sitting on top. They're at a +1 goal differential with 3 points. Southeast right behind them, also with 3 points, but they are at an even goal differential. And then Dalton yet to get off the mark, just because they haven't played a game. And then Color Creek, no points with a -1 goal diff. So everything's to play for, but it's early in this, and we'll get some more games in the next few weeks.
Is it too early, Todd, to make another bet?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm
gambling.
Hey, I'm 1-0, and I'm staying there.
Yeah, you let me know whenever you start being scared, Tom.
And all right, we're getting ready to go to commercial break, but right now you're going to see an interview with Maya Camacho from Southeast and Sadie and Yuliana Herrera from Northwest. And with that, we'll go to commercial break.
Hey, this is Todd with Monday Night Football. I'm here with Sadie and Yuliana from Northwest. You guys just defeated Southeast Whitfield for the 4th year in a row. You guys are seniors, never lost to Southeast. Sadie, we'll start with you. What does that mean to you to finish 4 years in a row and never have lost to your crosstown rival?
It means a lot, because I feel like each year it's just a hard fought game between both teams, and I feel like every year we want it so bad, and it always ends up in our favor usually. So I'm thankful for our team and all the hard work that we've worked on throughout the season already. And that's pretty much it.
Yuliana, that game, it was looking like Southeast was going to be able to ride that 1-0 into full time and get the win. You come through with that blast of a free kick. What's going through your head when you step up to that shot?
I was very tired, but I just wanted to, I don't know.
When you put your foot through it, did you know it was in the back of the net?
No, not really. I closed my eyes, kind of.
I knew it. Usually we can count on Yuli for those, and I knew she had it in her.
Well, congratulations on the win. You guys move into a tie with Northwest with Southeast for Soccer City Cup. So good luck with the rest of the season.
Thank you.
Why should you choose OptiLink Internet?
I chose OptiLink because of the great local service.
We know computers, and OptiLink knows internet with high-speed symmetrical uploads and downloads.
My customers depend on me for safety and security, and I need fast and dependable internet. That's why I chose OptiLink.
Some people say you can't have fast internet. I say, oh yes you can with OptiLink.
Experience the difference. Call today, 706-529-1313.
If you could live anywhere, where would it be? What would it be like? Open up a world of possibilities when you sell your home and make those dreams real. At ColdwellBanker.com, you can get an instant estimate on your home, compare cost of living city by city, and learn more about our revolutionary seller's assurance program. So it really is true. Your dreams don't have to be just dreams. at coldwellbanker.com.
Hey guys, it's Todd with Monday Night Football. I'm joined with Southeast Raider Rage player John Garcia. Hey, John, this is your last game, last chance you got to play against Northwest Whitfield. You've been in this game before. You know it's big. What does this game mean to you emotionally as a senior?
I mean, I feel for everyone that it's a big game because it's your last time playing them, and that we're gonna go with our heart.
So does it? I guess for you, is this just another game, or do you feel like you got something to prove? I mean, you guys have had like really close games in the past few years.
Yeah, today we're here to make a statement.
Awesome. Well, good luck to you guys, and we'll see you after the game.
Thank you.
Hey, this is Todd with Monday Night Football. I'm joined with Chris Tapia here just prior to Soccer City Cup match, Northwest versus Southeast. Chris, you're a veteran at this game. This is going to be the last time you suit up, strap on the boots, and get after it against Southeast. What does this mean? What does this game mean to you?
This is just two intense teams. It means a lot. The atmosphere of this is just really amazing to see.
I mean, just knowing it's your last time, are you looking to get a little something extra out of it? Are you like more emotional, or is it just another game and this Soccer City Cup?
Oh, definitely more emotional. I mean, I know it's the last time I'm gonna play a big team here in Whitfield County. Yeah.
All right. Well, good luck tonight, man, and we'll see you soon.
Sure.
Welcome back to Monday Night Football. We just heard from Chris Tapia and Juan Garcia about
Juan Garcia.
My mind has been translating things in Spanish and English at work, and so boom, instantly translated
Matt Gaston.
Matt Gaston. I be inventing people's names. John Garcia. We just heard from them about their words over what happened.
Yeah, the pregame, Todd was able to get them before the big matchup against Northwest South.
Yeah, it's like those guys have basically been, at least 3-year, if not 4-year starters. And, it's a big game for them. It's the last time, they're going to be walking out on the field. They're not going to play anymore. They're not going to meet each other in playoffs. So, that was it for them. And, it worked out for me that Northwest won on more than one level.
Really did.
Juan, what was your thoughts about the game?
Do you really want my thoughts?
Yes, I want your thoughts. I wouldn't have asked.
You made that good. Let's see.
I don't know how I feel. I feel like the game was choppy on both ends. I felt like Northwest, the first half. I can't speak of the second half because I wasn't there to watch the second half. I had family, got too cold, so we had to.
It was cold.
I don't know what's been happening where it's hot in the day and freezing at night.
It's just the way it is in soccer season. Oof. But I felt like Northwest in the first half had more possession, more control of the game. They tried to do tactically what Coach Gutierrez was wanting them to do. So you could see they had some ideas beside that. They were bringing the ball back. They were doing 1-2s on that side. Now for the Northwest, for the Southeast side, that was a little bit. They started out playing, I think, a 4-4-2 with I think Isaac Azua, the freshman, and Jonathan Hernandez up top. I think there may have been some slight modifications of that, and then it became Jonathan on top as a one, and then everybody else in the back. And I felt like it just became like a long ball show.
They became oscillated up top.
Yeah, here, let's try to get it up there, boom it. And instead of playing out from the back, trying to open up some space, maybe if John comes over to the left, where the team's rotating into that open space. I didn't see that.
One of the things I thought that Northwest really did good, and I'm sure this is tactically, and this is just also hustle too, is I thought they did a really good job when they would lose the ball at fast recovery, regain possession, and then recycle it out using their backs and kind of recycling the ball and bringing it back in. Which I'm like you, Juan. I thought Southeast struggled to make that transition from ball recovery to going, in an attacking movement, and we just saw it all night. And they would really just end up relieving pressure and pumping the ball either up the line or right down the middle, and trying to rely on speed up top to make the difference. But really, they were just oscillated up there, and Northwest would be able to recover the ball. And Chris Tapia, just time after time, was putting in dangerous chances. I'm surprised Northwest didn't take advantage of more of those opportunities, especially late in the second half.
Yeah.
He was putting some great balls in the back post. and just Northwest couldn't get on the end of them.
And like I feel, they've done a lot of modifications, and like I said, we're not into the day-to-day on either team, so we don't know. We do know that Southeast dealing with some injuries. Joseph Pagan not able to play right now. We have Jonathan coming back after 2 years of ACL. So I don't know if what's going on, but there's Brian. They got Brian Delgado, who's a former CDM, center defensive mid, or center mid. Now he's playing on the back line. I think they have an abundance of midfielders, so I think that's where they feel more comfortable. But maybe we'll see. Like I said, they were able to come out later in the week and do an 11-1 win over Douglas. So maybe that cures some things, got them off on the goal scoring touch. But sometimes you need that L, and I know you were able to. I know we're going to show, but I know you're able to get an interview with Coach Gutierrez which we'll discuss here at the end. But I'd like to hear. It's going to be interesting to hear what he had to say about the game as well.
Well, I know one of the things that Northwest has been struggling with a little bit is their finishing, and luckily, I believe it was De La Cruz.
Yeah, Javier De La Cruz.
Yeah, came through and put the ball in the back of the net when it counted. But really, for me, what they are looking for is they are looking for that finisher. They're creating chances, but they need somebody to step up and finish consistently.
Consistently, I was going to say.
And at this level, that's everything. So.
Well, they definitely paid attention because literally Northwest faced the Dalton Academy, and they had no problem finishing there.
Yeah, because that was a 5-1 win, which we'll discuss here.
We'll discuss in a bit, but yeah.
So what do the Soccer City Cup standings look like right now, Todd?
Oh, for the boys, well, I'll have to pull it up here. I got graphics all over the place. Northwest sitting on top with 3 points with a +1 goal diff. Southeast behind them, they have 2 points off the PK draw win that they had, and then Culver Creek with 1 point for the draw, and then of course Dalton hasn't played a game yet because their game with Culver Creek got postponed, so we'll be watching for that one to get rescheduled.
Hopefully it gets rescheduled.
So, it needs to, because that's really going to mess with stuff.
So that'll be something.
We'll have to come up with a whole new system.
I wish we can. I mean, the draws thing that we worked out was beautiful with the 1 point to the PK.
I'd just rather them reschedule the game.
But
reschedule the game.
Let's just look back. Let's just look forward a little bit. They got regions. Now they're starting to get into the region slate a little bit. Southeast, both boys and girls, they start out this week playing Cass and Allatoona. Those are region games. And then they got Cedartown, both and the girls do next week. And then Southeast has that first El Clasico matchup next Friday versus Dalton.
That Cass game for the Southeast boys, this is a little bit of a murder row for them. They got Cass, Allatoona,
Cedartown was playing very well.
Then Cedartown and then Dalton. So
cherry on top there with
really
Dalton.
Interesting to see how they do in those games. And then the Northwest boys sitting there, you know what, I'm going to say low-key undefeated, 4-0. They had that, some preseason defeats, but those don't count. And then now they're going to start out with Ridgeland, which I think that's a win. I'm going to go ahead and chalk that up to a win. Adairsville and then Lafayette. So I don't think it's unreasonable for them to be sitting there at 7-0 after the first 7 games.
So
quite the claim.
Yeah, and like that, and like I said, Todd was able to get an interview with Coach Isa Gutierrez. So get ready to see that, and after that, we'll come back and discuss a little bit more of Monday Night Football.
Hey, this is Todd with Monday Night Football. I'm here with Coach Gutierrez with Dalton, with Northwest Whitfield. About messed that one up, Coach. But you're just coming off the double against Southeast girls and boys. First, let's talk about the girls match. This senior class, just talk about them a little bit, pulling off 4 in a row against Southeast.
Oh, they're special. I think the senior class is, last year's senior class is very special. The senior class is just as special. There's grit in there that's not often, you don't see often with senior classes. There's leadership there. At the end of the day, they're great girls. They're great girls, and they're able to do what they know they should be able to do.
That game was getting tight at the very end. Looked like Southeast maybe eke out a 1-0 on that one, and then Liliana comes through with the equalizer, and then Sadie right after that. Did you feel like you guys had that in the tank to pull that out?
We were hoping it was in there. Like, the reality is we were hoping it's in there. The beginning of the season, just 2 tough teams with Pace Academy and Allatoona. The girls are in the community as well. There's pressure on them. We understand the program that the Lady Bruins have, and so there's pressure there. But the reality is they just got to play and do work. And like I said, Yuli does that multiple times, and she'll do it again as the season goes on.
And moving on to the boys' game, hard-fought win, 1-0 on the field. Did you feel like that goal was ever going to come? Because I felt like you guys just kept grinding toward it, and eventually it came.
That's part of the game. Like I said, ultimately, you do your best to score the early ones and just play right out the second half. And I felt like we had chances. Alejandro had 2 good chances, breakaways, and it was, De La Cruz is a senior. He's a great player. He's been a part of the program for 4 years. Call his name and he delivers. Nice little left to you. So I mean, we knew it was coming, but it just took a while. But yes, you're right.
Well, congratulations, Coach, and good luck the rest of the season.
Here's 2 of the nicest guys in the car business.
Hey, it's Eddie and Greg from North Georgia Toyota.
We're taking a little break from doing commercials, do a little fishing.
Hey, I'm not fishing, I'm catching.
All right, hang in there, don't let it get away.
Don't let your big deal get away at North Georgia Toyota.
Greg, somebody's gonna say, we can't do that. What do we say?
We say, oh yes, we can.
And it's only at North Georgia Toyota in Dalton. Come see us. Bring it in.
Why should you choose OptiLink Internet?
When I work from home, I need fast, reliable internet. OptiLink provides that with no hidden fees.
Our customers depend on us for great service and quality. And that's why we chose OptiLink Internet.
As we serve the needs of our clients, we need reliable internet service. That's why I chose OptiLink as my hometown provider.
Some people say you can't get fast internet. I say, oh yes you can with OptiLink.
Experience the difference. Call today.
Hey, welcome back to Monday Night Football, brought to you by Elliott Media. Moving right along to segment 4, we're going to be touching on the Dalton girls and boys week last week. Just getting it started out, the Dalton girls went down to Model 3-2, which we know that is a last year's 3A runner-up. That is a very, very strong.
I didn't realize they were a runner-up until.
And look at that record.
Yeah,
22.
So I believe that would have been Cahulla Creek girls. I think they've had a run-in with them. Yeah, that is a very high-caliber program that they got down there. So 3-2, not that bad of a result for the Dalton girls. And then losing 5-2 to Pace Academy, which we saw them lay 5 on Northwest last week or the week before? Yeah. So once again, we know Pace Academy is another high-powered program. However, they flipped the script against Hiram on Friday night, and they get run out 10-0 winners.
I think that was very well placed when it needed to be placed. Like, after you're facing those two, I mean, absolutely a 10-0 to get your confidence up.
Yeah, and I was able to catch up with Coach Almodovar a little bit Saturday and off record or off, I
was going to say off record. Off record.
Shut it down.
Not off record, but was able to catch up. And I said, man, you scheduled, you had a rough week. You were 3 games, went 1-2, and he was actually I'm pretty pleased. They were tough opponents. Model, like you mentioned, a class 3A runner-up, and then a tough Pace Academy team, and then they come out and rebound and beat a Hiram team. So, but like you said, he is getting his team ready because they're going to have to play Allatoona, which is part of the region. Mm-hmm. So he's just getting them ready to try to, to advance. Their Achilles heel, Todd, but previously they were in 5A. Their Achilles heel has always been that first round,
right,
in the state playoffs. But I think now they've jumped down to 4A. I think that may change up a little bit. But they're evened up the record overall to 2-2 on the season.
I was trying to think of who they have coming up, and I believe they have Kennesaw, if I'm not mistaken.
Kennesaw Mountain.
Yes. Kennesaw Mountain.
Yes.
So I think that'll be a really interesting game for them. Now, anytime you get the schools come like close to Atlanta, it's a good measuring stick of where you're going to stand when playoffs come. So I'll be looking at that one as just kind of like a measuring stick. I'm not really familiar with how good Kennesaw Mountain is, but historically
Kennesaw Mountain, I think, gave them a run last year. They played locally here. They play on Tuesday. They play Kennesaw Mountain, and then they have they play Woodland on Friday.
When's the Allatoona game?
I think that'll be in the next week or so. But I know in the next week they play Kennesaw Mountain, and then they play a Woodland team. So we'll see how
Southeast
that goes.
faces Allatoona, so I mean.
Yes.
Oh, is that who has Allatoona?
Yeah, Southeast has Allatoona this week.
I think I have that highlighted as one of my games to watch.
But like I said, they're where they're supposed to be. They're doing what we're supposed to be doing, things like that. So, and then you roll into Dalton boys. They're just on a roll right now. Yeah. I was looking earlier at Max Preps. They are ranked currently number 4 per Max Preps in the nation. They are the number 2 ranked team in the state of Georgia per Max Preps.
Do you know who behind?
River Ridge is ranked ahead of them right now. Then it's Dalton. But as mentioned, what Jason Longshore said last week, he's by far probably the best team he's seen so far in the games that he's called. But what they had a couple of results last week, right, Todd?
Yeah, I mean, the win against Pace Academy was notable. I mean, Northwest was able to beat Pace as well. I think that was a 2-0 win for Pace. But also, I think that was, if I'm not mistaken, that might have been a preseason. I'm not real sure about the timing on that one. But Northwest beat them anyway, 2-0. I'm not comparing. I'm just saying it's a common
Even if it's
opponent.
preseason, I think there's still merit.
So what I'm saying is that's a good win for Dalton. And of course, they did basically the same thing they did to Hiram last year. I think last year maybe the score was 9-0. So kind of the same result. And hopefully, Cheeves is getting a run out. He said he was carrying 28 players on
big roster.
On this squad. So hopefully he got a lot of minutes on some of the guys that don't normally get minutes.
Yeah. Anything you'd like to add there, Diego?
Yeah, so curiously on that, because now we're getting into a lot of games that are outside the whole Dalton bubble, and this is where I'm not too familiar with the historic opponents, with who they are. So hearing that, we do have some good outlook. Dalton number 2 ranked in the state.
Yep. Overall on Max
Preps in the state. I mean, my question would actually be for y'all is how are y'all feeling with y'all have seen Dalton win the state titles. How are we feeling with this team compared to previous ones that came before it?
Well, I mean, I can go with this. I think this is the most complete team that we've seen probably in a couple of years. Yeah. You look at the spine from front to back. You have a consistent goal scorer. You have a midfield general. You have a stalwart in defense, and you have solid keeper play. And I think anytime you can do that, and then you can add in, speed on the outside for service. I think. And I just think that's a good recipe. And I see them improving already.
And from what I see, good at set pieces.
Yes.
The set piece game for Dalton, one of my highlights.
Maybe even more important for Dalton is improvement at defending the set piece, which has been an Achilles heel for the past few years, and they've been exposed against a team like McIntosh.
Well, and McIntosh tried to do that earlier in the season. They tried to do when they played them, they were trying to do those long balls. Throw-ins and they weren't successful.
You go back to what's worked historically, and it has. But Dalton figured it out this year.
Yeah, and like I said, you had asked me, and I think I'm looking at really they got Luis Favela, who's getting all the accolades and all the goals because he's scoring all the goals. But I think really for what I've seen, there's been 2 big playmakers that are being the difference, and that is Chapis Garcia,
of course,
former Atlanta United product that came back to play his senior year. And then the former TDA player, Joe Gonzalez. And I felt for me that was, and I was interested to see how Joe's going to fit in. Previously being at TDA, where he is the leader among the leaders, because by far he's probably the best player that was on that team. And now, how do you fit in to where there's other players just as good as you or better? And he's.
Are you going to try to shoulder the responsibility the same way you had to at TDA, or the way you felt you had to? Because he certainly doesn't have that kind of pressure at Dalton. He may put it upon himself, but there's plenty of talent around him that he doesn't have to. And we all know, generally speaking, players play better when they don't have that sort of responsibility on them.
I was actually going to ask that, if you think that's something that'll make them play better, or perhaps will that hinder it? Because some players, they take on that responsibility and elevate themselves because of it.
Well, so far it doesn't appear to have hindered him, just based on even just Jason Longshore's assessment of the game.
And now we're getting ready to go to commercial break, and when we come back, we'll have more Monday Night Football.
If you could live anywhere, where would it be? And what would it be like? Open up a world of possibilities when you sell your home and make those dreams real. At ColdwellBanker.com, you can get an instant estimate on your home, compare cost of living city by city, and learn more about our revolutionary seller's assurance program. So it really is true. Your dreams don't have to be just dreams. At ColdwellBanker.com.
Discover what a strong, locally owned community bank can do for you.
I'm Tyler Hudson of Shankley Training in Dalton, Georgia. we train a huge number of the region's aspiring soccer players. I moved my business and personal banking to Builtwell 2 years ago. It's important for me to work with a community bank where I know them and they know me. Because they make things easy for me, my bank is Builtwell.
Member FDIC.
Hey, welcome back to Monday Night Football, brought to you by Elliott Media. And for showing up late, Diego gets to run through the entire score list by himself.
See, I think that's a benefit. I don't know why that's a punishment.
And this is the OptiLink
Officially the OptiLink scoreboard. A big interesting week for all our schools. Starting off with Christian Heritage against Lafayette. Lafayette 7-0. Murray County 10-0 against the Dalton Academy girls. North Murray girls beating Rockmart 4-0. Murray County boys beating the Dalton Academy in penalty kicks. Another penalty kick victory there. Christian Heritage boys winning 1-0 against Lafayette. And then we wrap up Monday with North Murray 7-1 against Rockmart. And then Murray County, what a big scoring game. Murray County versus Fanning County girls. Fanning County winning 5-4. And then that big game we discussed, Model girls beating Dalton 3-2. Praise Academy 10-0 victory. Not the only 10-0 victory, but Praise Academy girls beating Christian Heritage, as I heard you say, Praise yes. Academy. And then the big games we've talked about, Northwest beating Southeast girls 2-1, and then Northwest boys beating Southeast 1-0. And then we go back to a game that didn't happen, Denali County versus Darlington. However, a game that very much happened, Pace Academy beating Dalton girls 5-2. And then Darlington boys beating Dalton Academy 3-1 right there. Am I reading that correctly? Yes. And then we go to Thursday, big day, Cahola Creek 6, Ringgold girls 4. Probably the highest scoring double team game that we have on here. North Murray girls falling 1-2 against LFO girls. Dalton Academy 2-1, the boys winning against Pace Academy. Highest scoreline that I see here, Southeast versus Douglas, 11-1. A big statement there. Of course, North Murray versus LFO, 7-1, winning North Murray. Cahola Creek beating Ringgold on penalty kicks, 2-1 from my reading there. Penalty kick victories, those are special now. Christian Heritage versus Ridgeland boys, Christian Heritage winning 3-1. And then Southeast girls beating South Paulding 2-0. And we wrap up the week with what happened on Friday. Murray County losing 8-0, the girls against Adairsville. Girls as well, Cahola Creek beating Ridgeland 7-0. We discussed it, 10-0 Dalton girls versus Hiram, is how you say that? Hiram. See, why is it with me switching the syllables for all these words? Model, Gaston, Hiram. Dalton Academy falling 5-1 Northwest. I cannot wait to talk about that game. That game has a lot to talk about, including the food. Murray County boys losing 2-0 against Adairsville, and then wrapped up the game week, Dalton 8-0 against Hiram boys. A good week, high score lines, penalty kicks. We keep on going to penalty kicks. So I'm
you
curious.
You touched on that 6-4 game for the Cahola Creek girls. So Cahola Creek girls, they just keep rolling. I'm trying to see what their record is now.
6-1.
They're 6-1.
Yeah.
Only lost is the Southeast, and that was a respectable 3-2 Soccer City Cup game versus Ringgold. Goals by Lily Johnson, Brianna Munguia, Jenny Estrada, and you want to take that one?
Which one?
Atsira Pimentel.
Got it. And then Kayana Rivera had 2. And then they shut out Ridgeland 7-0 on Friday to cap off a week. So they are having a great season up there. I think this new region they're in is going to suit them well. They got to be the favorites right now to top that region, but we'll see what happens.
So really quick, Todd. I mean, we know Coach Cooley's been there for a while. He's been the head coach there for a few years.
Cooley's been there a while.
Now, do you think the addition of Asher Griffin transitioning over from TDA boys to move over to Cahola Creek, do you think, and the former Johnson standout, as well, do you think that's had a little bit of more insight on the soccer acumen side of, of how to position, how to play formations and things like that? Because you got to think about Asher, coach under Ruri Alvarez, and he was very big in film study and things like that. So I just want to get your take on that.
So I think what I'll say, number one, anytime you add somebody like Coach Griffith to a system, you're going to get better. there's no downtime, right? So whenever Coley's working with one group, Asher's working with another group, and so there's no downtime. No, that's great coaching on both sides there. So yes, I think it's had an effect, but also I think what's had an effect by talking to a coach that has played against them. I won't say who it is. They've also
off the
had
record.
Yes, it was off the record, but they've had an influx of freshman talent that has really been able to step up. And then you have players that are, that are kind of carrying some of the load this year. You look at a player like Lily Johnson that's like not only contributing assists this year, but actually scoring. So I think when you combine those things, the addition of freshmen that are actually contributing, players that are established, also contributing at a high level, and then you add in a high-level coach like that, I think you're seeing the results here.
And then let's just flip it about the boys. I mean, let's just say the injury bug has hit them.
Sure.
And they are struggling there due to injuries. Plus, Jacobo, scheduled a very tough out-of-region schedule. They pulled out a squeaker versus Ringgold. I think you were at that game for a little bit.
I wasn't there. I was getting play-by-play, and I've gotten some feedback from it. They went down. Color Creek went down a man, so that's never going to be in your favor. Ringgold is not a bad team. Okay, they're solid. So you give a team like that, you give them some encouragement. Here's the weird part. Color Creek's goal came on an own goal. They did not score it. And then the goal scored against them was a penalty kick. So they're facing a little bit of, number one, they've played 2 really tough games and then this Ringgold game. So it's really early and way too early to panic for them. So they just need to kind of get into their region schedule, start getting some consistent play in, and see who's going to fill the shoes of Cruz. And really, it's going to be a team effort.
Yeah.
But Jacobo can get it out of them.
And like I said, looking at their losses, they're both to Cass and Southeast, which are both 4A schools. With a new classification, Color Creek moving down to 2A.
Right.
So eventually, I won't say the schedule should get easier, but it should be where their talent starts prevailing. Hopefully they can get over this injury bug situation, get some key players back, and I think that'll help that. With their start and getting their season turned around. Because, we know what Jacobo expects. But with that, we're getting ready to go to commercial break. When we come back, we'll come back into one of our final segments.
I'm Dr. Michelle Little.
And I'm Dr. Kayla Juba with Foundation Direct Family Care. We wanted to start a membership-based primary care practice.
But we're doctors, not business people.
I'm Kylie Roy with Builtwell Bank. I listen to their pitch and help them scale from startup to owning their own building.
Builtwell sees the value of small businesses in the community and supports their ingenuity.
Because every business owner doesn't have an MBA, our bank is Builtwell.
Member FDIC.
Who's up for some football?
That's not football. This is football.
And Eddie, there's one thing that we all can agree on.
That's it. North Georgia is the home for new and pre-owned vehicles.
And don't forget accessories, parts, service, and collision needs.
Claro que sí se puede. Cancillas.
Hey, that's our part.
And welcome back to Monday Night Football. And, Diego, actually, you were at this game, so we're going to discuss a little bit of Dalton Academy and Murray County. Yeah, I think you were there for both the boys and the girls game. As a rookie, we made you go try to get an interview for us.
It worked out in the best way possible.
And where were you able to get the interview? I guess while they were in the tacos?
Right in front of Georgia Tacos. I saw my chance and I took it. Big shout out to Mary. Go way back. Absolutely thank you for that interview, Mary. But yeah, we were all getting food. And I'm like, wait a minute, I thought y'all left. No, y'all didn't. Y'all are getting tacos. Let's do an interview.
So let's look at it, Todd, really quick.
It's hard for people to run when they got a plate full of food. So
let's look at it. Dalton Academy girls went down to Murray County 10-0. Obviously, I think it's still going to take a couple more years for this Dalton Academy team to get there. They're still trying to find their way. They're being more competitive. And that's a good thing. Murray County is just trying to build off of what they've been doing the past few years. Yeah. And then on the boys' side, Dalton Academy boys have just been playing. They played a tough schedule. Murray County wasn't in. You called it earlier in the week that last week you said Murray County, hey, watch out Murray County with if they go to PKs, you had them win because of the keeper playing. It looks like they came back where they won that on 5-2 as well. But you were there to watch the game, so what was your insight of those games?
When it comes to the girls' game, I mean, you hit the nail on the head. There's a lot of development still going on with both teams, and you really saw that on the pitch, as I feel the coaches were really highlighted here. I referred her, Mary, who I spoke to. She was telling me that during that game, once they got the scored line running, they really wanted to take advantage of, I guess, one, that you're winning up by so much, and two, to kind of highlight the areas they were weaker in, and she highlighted that they wanted to focus on the passing game primarily. Y'all alluded earlier in the segments, I forget which team it was, that I think it was Northwest, it may have been, who was really kind of just hooping the ball.
Southeast, yeah.
The long ball. Mary was telling me, hey, we got to work on our short passing game. And I saw that. Those few goals at the end before the game was called off, it was all focused on passing lanes, on through balls, which that's my favorite way of scoring, is finding that key pass that eliminates the defense. So as far as Murray County girls are concerned, they absolutely did the job against it, which I also like the attitude they showed afterwards. Really great. They were like, hey, we won 10-0, but like there's still so much to work on still. And I like that, staying humble in victory. There's much to work out. Now the boys game, I left at halftime. One, the weather, it was really cold.
Yeah.
I don't know what it was. That game, going to penalty kicks, I actually thought the opposite of what you did, Todd, where if it went to penalties, I actually had Dalton Academy as the favorite, just due to the absolute highlight that Freddie has been, Freddie Reynoso, I believe.
Yeah.
Both games that I went to for TDA, he was the standout, and I will say, and I will go on record to say, by far the standout for the teams. In the game against Murray County, I think that scoreline was, again, generous to Dalton Academy, because Freddie absolutely put in some key stops to keep it in the penalty kicks. And so Dalton Academy falling to Murray County. The Northwest game,
let's just preface it. The Northwest game was the actual Dalton Academy homecoming.
Yes.
We did attend the parade. I took my daughter out there, which they're trying to build that culture. You got to think about it. You know, it's hard to build a new culture within a school that is primarily, you know, only had one school, a high school.
2021,
yes.
They were founded.
It's going back to when Cahulla Creek was built 10 years ago, and Northwest was like, it takes time to build that culture. So they're there, they were able to schedule, since they don't have a football team, they scheduled a homecoming game during the season. They did. They had girls that were represented by each class, so it was. I want to give TDA
absolutely
kudos.
Loved it.
They had Georgia Tacos there.
Oh my goodness, the Georgia Tacos is one of my highlights of the games. Always.
I don't think there's a single business that's got more hype off this show than Georgia Tacos. Like, if we never said that name again, they've definitely got their money's worth out of our advertising.
But there is a dark horse now.
Tacos El Cuñao.
Tacos El Cuñao that were Northwest, Southeast game now.
Talk about a rivalry. Tacos El Cuñao.
That was the first time I've had their tacos, and I will have to say they may start rivaling some of the tacos for Georgia Tacos, but they didn't have a quesadilla, so I couldn't say what.
Can't go apples to apples. It's hard to do. Unless you can go apples to apples, it's hard. I'm not going to say anything. Look, Northwest, anytime you have concessions there, number one, all I ever ask for is hot chocolate. And if you want to go right past hot chocolate to full taqueria, be my guest.
Ain't nobody complaining.
Ain't nobody complaining. All right, I'll let it go.
But the tacos led into then you watching the Northwest game.
100% during halftime, which, again, you said it, but really the homecoming game, the atmosphere was present. Turnout was very, very good. So that was good to see. And I think the game reflected that, because let me tell you this, that game was such a close game for a large majority of it.
Because I think it was
1-1 for a good bit.
Northwest scored in the first 5 minutes.
Literally right there, Northwest scored, but then Dalton Academy able to hold off. And not only that, scoring an equalizer off the counter was beautiful. Outside the box, a bit of a lob over the keeper. Tremendous. And when that equalizer went on, it was a celebration, as it should be. And then it stayed 1-1 for a while, and a large part of that was, again, due to Freddie, in between the posts. Freddie, if you had bet the over on Prize Picks, he would have hit that in the first half.
So did you think that Northwest still controlled most of the game?
Yes, 100%.
Sounds like
100% Northwest. If you look at possession stats, easily over 70 is what I would guess. And yet, Dalton Academy just did good in absorbing that and playing on the counter. That was
so question to you though, because you've seen Northwest play previously before on not a wide field when they played Dalton. Did they play differently on a wider field, or was it still, or did they still try to do everything compact, or did they try to open it out a little bit more?
Definitely, they opened it out. Now, I don't know if that was purely to the field or as a result of the opponent, but there was a lot of wide play that they were going for. Dangers down the wings, and then, of course, set pieces as well. They tried the same corner kick technique that we saw at the Dalton game. Tried it. It wasn't successful this time, so TDA defended very well against that. And then the big highlight was Freddie got injured and then had to be subbed out, and then the keeper that came in also got injured and had to be subbed back in for Freddie. Once the 2-1 hit, floodgates open, and otherwise just found the third, the fourth, and the fifth.
It seemed to have like escalated very quickly.
Yes, it escalated quickly.
Because I kept getting texts back. It's like 2-1, 3-1. What? I'm like, what happened?
Yes.
Did they pull the keeper? What is this, hockey?
But hey, like I said, another beat sad. The respectable score line. They still got more games to play in a longer season. But that we're getting ready to go to commercial break, and we're going back to our final segment.
Everybody, we are right here with this Murray County trio, Coach Troutner, Coach Mary Trejo Navarrete, and player Brenda Raimundo Vargas. Did I get that right?
Yes, sir.
There you see some screens from the other Murray County players. Girls, women, y'all just got off a 10-0 victory against Dalton Academy. How does that feel?
Great.
Feels good. Yeah. There's always room for improvement, as always. Slight little things that we could have fixed, but overall, a win is always a win.
Beautiful. Now, what are your thoughts coming into this season? It's still early. What do you hope to see as the rest of the season progresses?
I hope to see improvement, a lot of chemistry, build chemistry. I know like our whole team is freshmen. Majority of them are freshmen. We only have like a couple seniors and upperclassmen, so hopefully just a lot of chemistry being built.
Beautiful. Mary, specifically talking to you. You've played at Dalton State College. You've even played for North Murray, and now you're here helping coach Murray County. What's that journey like?
At first it was tough because I was like, oh, I'm betraying North Murray. But, the opportunities come, and it's always good to take them because they always lead to new paths. So I'm very grateful for the opportunity, and I'm grateful to be part of a team like this.
Perfect. Any last words before we cut this?
Yeah. Let's go Indians.
Let's go Indians. There y'all go. And tacos right there. We all got our quesadillas and our tacos. North Georgia. Thank y'all very much.
Thank you, Diego.
Why should you choose OptiLink Internet?
I chose OptiLink because of the great local service.
We know computers, and OptiLink knows internet with high-speed symmetrical uploads and downloads.
My customers depend on me for safety and security, and I need fast and dependable internet. That's why I chose OptiLink.
Some people say you can't have fast internet. I say, oh yes you can with OptiLink.
Experience the difference. Call today, 706-529-1313.
If you could live anywhere, where would it be? And what would it be like? Open up a world of possibilities when you sell your home and make those dreams real. At ColdwellBanker.com, you can get an instant estimate on your home, compare cost of living city by city, and learn more about our revolutionary seller's assurance program. So it really is true. Your dreams don't have to be just dreams. At ColdwellBanker.com.
Welcome back to Monday Night Football. Let's go ahead and go over what we have to look forward to this week.
Yeah, let's go look right into the OptiLink scoreboard, schedule for this week. Our big days are Tuesdays and Fridays. So Tuesdays, these are our matches. We got Cahulla Creek, Murray County, Northwest versus Ridgeland, Dalton Academy at Fannin County, Southeast at Cass, Christian Heritage versus Haralson County, Dalton versus Vestavia Hills. Now, these are boys, Cahulla Creek versus Murray County, Dalton Academy, Fannin, Northwest versus Ridgeland, Christian Heritage versus Haralson County, Dalton girls at Kennesaw Mountain, and then Southeast boys at Allatoona as the girls are going to be playing at Cass. And then on Thursday, you have only one game, or two games. Cahulla Creek versus LFO, both boys and girls.
I will chalk that up as a must-win for Cahulla Creek.
And then on Friday, you have Northwest at Adairsville, North Murray at Christian Heritage, Murray County at Calhoun, Dalton at Woodland, Southeast at Allatoona, Northwest, those are all girls, and you have Northwest versus at Adairsville, North Marietta Christian Heritage, Dalton at Woodland, Dalton Academy Calhoun. It looks like all the games are away. So we may not have any games footage.
Hey, Calhoun's not too far away.
But with that being said, though, we will have some interviews at least coming from Atlanta United coming into town.
Yep.
Bringing a couple players in for the
Sebi
skill.
Salazar. I have a feeling Sebi's going to take up more than one segment.
So,
he should.
But Todd, you highlighted some key games here. It looks like you have Northwest versus Adairsville.
Yes,
Creek versus Murray, Southeast versus Altoona, and Dalton versus Kennesaw Mountain on the girls' side.
So the Northwest Adairsville, I follow Adairsville social media. They've had a very good program for several years now. So I'm really interested to see this the first time I remember Northwest playing Adairsville. So this is a big matchup for them. Creek versus Color Creek girls versus
2A is region game.
Yeah, we are entering the region phase. Almost everything is region. Creek versus Murray County. On the girls' side, Murray County stout. We'll see what they do after putting 10 goals in TDA and coming up against Creek, and Creek can't overlook them. And then Southeast Alatoona, region game. We know how good Alatoona is. How Southeast going to respond after the Soccer City Cup loss. That one is intriguing to me.
And then Dalton versus Kennesaw Mountain is a big one there. And then on the boys' side, you highlighted Dalton versus Vestavia Hills, which is always a big game. That should be Jason Longshore. I think will be broadcast because he will be at the event, and I think he's just going to make the drive over there. And then Southeast versus Cass, which is a big region game, knowing that Cass are region champs from 5A last year when they beat Dalton in an upset.
So what are your thoughts on and I got North Murray versus Christian Heritage on there just because I think they're very equivalent programs.
I mean, I'm looking forward to all the matchups that we have here, like I said, so we'll see what we have there. But with that, our time is ended for this show, but be prepared for next week's show where we should have a great show with Sebastian Salazar.
If you could live anywhere, where would it be? And what would it be like? Open up a world of possibilities when you sell your home and make those dreams real. At ColdwellBanker.com, you can get an instant estimate on your home, compare cost of living city by city, and learn more about our revolutionary seller's assurance program. So it really is true. Your dreams don't have to be just dreams. At ColdwellBanker.com.
Why should you choose OptiLink Internet?
When I work from home, I need fast, reliable internet. OptiLink provides that with no hidden fees.
Our customers depend on us for great service and quality.
And that's why we chose OptiLink Internet.
As we serve the needs of our clients, we need reliable internet service. That's why I chose OptiLink as my hometown provider.
Some people say you can't get fast internet. I say, oh yes you can with OptiLink.
Experience the difference. Call today.
Discover what a strong, locally owned community bank can do for you.
I'm Tyler Hudson of Chantilly Training in Dalton, Georgia. We train a huge number of the region's aspiring soccer players. I moved my business and personal banking to Builtwell 2 years ago. It's important for me to work with a community bank where I know them and they know me. Because they make things easy for me, my bank is Builtwell.
Member FDIC.
Here's two of the nicest guys in the car business.
Hey, it's Eddie and Greg from North Georgia Toyota.
We're taking a little break from doing commercials, do a little fishing.
Hey, I'm not fishing, I'm catching.
All right, hang in there, don't let it get away.
Don't let your big deal get away at North Georgia Toyota.
Greg, somebody's gonna say, we can't do that. What do we say?
We say, oh yes, we can.
That's only at North Georgia Toyota in Dalton. Come see us. Bring it in.
To advertise your business on TV, contact Elliott Media at 706-529-4237.